6 o'clock, so we're going to get things started. First off, I want to introduce myself and my team. My name's Devin Dye, broker and owner, auctioneer at Dye Real Estate and Land Company. Jaylene is the one that checked you in here. Austin is one that works on our equipment and helps us out setting up at the sales. Matt Bowers to my left, he's wearing the green shirt. He's colorblind. He thought it was black. Mike Reindl is also working the ring tonight. Matt and Mike are auctioneers with Dye Real Estate and Land Company and real estate agents, so they'll be working the ring and helping catch bids tonight. Dave Warwell, my father-in-law, works the computer system for us. So that's my team. I want to say thank you to the sellers for choosing us to represent them in the sale of tonight's farm. Tonight we are selling 38.184 acres located in Auglaize County, Union Township. I'm going to go through the bidder pack. I'm going to go through terms and conditions here for you real quick, and then we'll get things started. We'll get this moving along. We will be selling by the acre tonight. We will not be selling on whole dollars, so the auction will be by the acre. I said 38. I meant 35.184. Good catch. Yeah. Attaboy. 35.184 acres. That is my fault. So I'm going to go through the terms and conditions here, and then I'll go through the track information, make sure I don't read anything incorrect here. The property will be offered in one track. There will be open bidding on the individual track. Bidders will be able to increase their bids until the auctioneer announces the track is sold. Down payment, 10% down payment is due on the day of the auction. The down payment can be made by personal check, business check, or cashier's check. If you need a little bit of time to move some things around for that down payment, most people have talked to me ahead of time. We understand that. Just please let us know. Bidders must have their financing arranged prior to the auction. No bids are conditional upon financing. All absentee and phone bidders must register with Dye Real Estate and Land Company prior to the auction. Anyone bidding on behalf of an absentee bidder will be equally responsible for the bid and required to enter into a contract to purchase at the end of the auction. Auction disputes. If any auction dispute arises between or among bidders, the decision of the auctioneer shall be final and absolute. No bid rigging. That is an Ohio revised code. As used in this section, bid rigging means the conspiracy between auctioneers, any participants in an auction, or any other persons who agree not to bid against each other at an auction or otherwise conspire to decrease or increase the number or amounts of bids offered at an auction. Online bidders. All online bidders must register prior to the day of the auction. The technology disclaimer is for online bidders only, so I will not read that in the room tonight. Property inspections. Potential purchasers are responsible for conducting their own inspections of the property, and any due diligence, inquiries, and inspections will be conducted at their own risk. Seller and Dye Real Estate and Land Company disclaims any and all responsibilities for bidder safety during any physical inspection of the property. Any and all successful bidders will be required to enter into a purchase agreement with the seller immediately following the sale. Seller will be signing the contracts electronically. All final bids are subject to the seller's confirmation. This offer will remain irrevocable and available to the seller for 5 business days after delivery of this offer to the seller, its counsel, or agent. Dye Real Estate and Land Company will provide a preliminary title opinion certificate or report to be made available upon request to prospective bidders for review prior to bidding. The certificate is given for the protection of Dye Real Estate and Land Company only. No other person or entity may rely on the opinion expressed herein, nor is any liability assumed by the certification except 2. If any buyer elects to purchase title insurance, the cost of that title insurance will be at the buyer's sole expense. Seller will convey title free and clear of liens, but otherwise subject to all easements and matters of record. All tracts are being sold as is. Seller to provide a general warranty deed. Closing. The balance of the purchase price is due at closing, which will take place within 45 days after the auction. In the event the buyer fails to close and pay their balance when due, the seller reserves all rights allowed by law, including a suit for damages, specific performance, or cancellation of the sale, with the seller to retain the earnest money deposit. Any action taken after default shall be solely at the seller's option, with all costs incurred by the seller being paid by the buyer. Possession will be immediately following the successful verification of the purchaser's earnest money deposit and once a fully signed purchase agreement has been completed by both buyer and seller. Buyer must reimburse the current tenant $3,892.78 prior to possession. We provided a copy up there on the board of what those inputs were for the fall. We will give you a copy of that if you are the successful bidder, along with a copy of the Sunrise receipts. We didn't want to put those out because there's other information that's not relevant to this, but we've broken it down up there. There's copies of all of the fertilizer and fall burn down that was done on the property. So those reimbursements will be paid to Dye Real Estate and Land Company, and we will disperse those as necessary prior to possession. All taxes and assessments shall be prorated to the day of closing. In prorating the taxes and assessments, the most current available tax information shall be used. Property is currently in CAUV. If the purchaser removes the property from CAUV, the purchaser will be responsible for the repayment of any CAUV tax recoupment. New taxes may be established due to the creation of new parcels. All dimensions, proposed boundaries, and tract acreages are approximate and are based on aerial photos and auditor information. Mineral rights. The sale will include 100% of the mineral rights, if any, owned by the seller. Survey. The seller will provide a new survey and legal description if required by governmental authority to transfer title. If the governmental authority approves the legal description under its current form, then the buyer agrees to accept the current acreage described under the current legal description. The total sales price will be established by multiplying the per acre price established at the auction by the total acreage according to the new survey. Dye Real Estate and Land Company and its representatives are sole agents for the seller. All information contained in this brochure and all related materials are subject to the terms and conditions in the purchase agreement. The properties are being sold as is, where is, with no warranty or representation, either expressed or implied, concerning the property is made by the seller or Dye Real Estate and Land Company. All sketches and dimensions in this brochure are approximate. Each potential bidder is responsible for conducting his or her own independent inspections, investigations, inquiries, and due diligence concerning the property. The information contained in this brochure is subject to verification by all parties relying on it. No liability for its accuracy, errors, or omissions is assumed by the seller or Dye Real Estate and Land Company. Any announcements made the day of the auction take precedence over printed material. The above terms and conditions are to be an addendum to the purchase contract. One note here. The original terms and conditions that went out had a CRP section in there. There is no CRP on this farm. That is not relevant to this. The terms and conditions that are in this bidder packet are the terms and conditions that are relevant to tonight's sale. Track information located in Auglaize County, Union Township, Section 18. Total acres of 35.184. Tillable acres, according to the county auditor, is 34.54. According to the fall applications, it was 34.1. So roughly around 34 to 34 and a half acres tillable on this. Has an NCCPI of 69.68. Annual taxes of $1,046.75. Farmland acres of 35.45, cropland of 34.54 according to the FSA. There's the base acres, there's 17.2 acres of wheat at 61 PLC yield, corn 8.6 at 118 PLC yield, and soybeans 8.5 acres with a 43 PLC yield. This farm is located on the northeast corner of the intersection of Town Line Lima Road and State Route 67, just 1 mile west of Uniopolis. You can see the soil map. This is a soil map just kind of describing the soil types that are on this farm. You guys have probably seen all this information. I'm reading a lot of stuff, and we're just going to get to selling 35 acres here. This is the consumer guide to agency that we're required to give you if you interact with us, if you do business with Dye Real Estate and Land Company. The agency disclosure just indicates that myself and Dye Real Estate and Land Company are sole agents for the seller. This is a copy of the purchase contract that you'll be signing if you are the successful bidder tonight. The only thing missing is who the bidder is, the buyer is, and the amount that they're paying for the property. That's all in your bidder packet. I think we're going to go ahead and get things started. You guys good? We are selling with seller's confirmation tonight. So at some point I will step outside, have a conversation with the seller, and get seller's confirmation. No stop clock tonight, and we are selling by the acre. All right. 35.184 acres located in Auglaize County, Union Township. Where do you want to start me at? Somebody give 17,000 for it. Give 17 here now, 17. But give 17,000 here now, 17. Give 15 and run. 15,000 here now, 15, 15, 15,000 here now, 14,000 here now, 14. Where do you want to start it? 14,000 here, give 13. 13,000, but give 13, 13, 13, 13,000 daughter down here now, 13. Give 12,000, give 12. Give 12,000 here, I got 12 now, 13. But give 13, 12,000's on, give 13,000 here now, 13. But give 13, I'm bidding at 12,000. How about 12,500? But give 12,500 here now, 12,500. But give 12,500. I got 12,500, get 13. 12,500 on now, 13. But give 13,000 daughter down here now, 13. I'm bidding at 12,500 here, give 13. 13,000, I'm 12,500. Somebody give 13,000. I got 13, 13,500. To give 13,500. 13,000's on, give 13,500. To give 13,500. Now 14, but to give 14. 13,500's on, give 14,000 here. Now able to buy now 14. I'm going to at 13,500. Mike, your way. 14, 14,500. To give 14,500. 14's on, give 14,500. To give 14,500. 14,000 here. Now 14,500. To give 14,500. 14,500. Give 15,000. 14,500's on, give 15, 15, 15, 15,000 down here now, 15,000 here now, able to buy now 15, 14, 15, 15,500 to give 15,500, 15,500, 16, 16, 16,000 down here now, 16, but give 16 now, 16,500. 16,500, 17, 17,000 here now, 17,000 down here now, 17, 16,500 to give 17,000 here now, able to buy now 17. I'm at him at 16,500, give 17. 16,500's on now, 17,000 down here now, able to buy now 17. 16,500, give 17,000. 16,500, give 17,000. 16,500's on, give 17. 16,500, give 16,700. I got 16,500, give 16,700, now 17,000. 16,700 on 17, now 17,200, would give 17,200. 17's on, now 200, utter down here, now 17,200. Bid him at 17,000 here, now 2, would give 2, now 2, now 200, utter down here, now 2, now 5, would give 17,500. 17,500, now 17,700, would give 7, now 7, now 7, 17,700 here, now able to buy, now 17,700. I'm at 17,500, give 17,700. 17,000, 17,700. Give 18, 18, now 18,200, would give 18,200, 18,000's on, give 200, utter down here, now 18,200, would give 18,200, 18,000's on, give 18,200, would give 2, now 2, now 200, utter down here, now 18,200, 18,000 I have, I need 18,200, 18,000's on, give 200, utter down, I got 2, now 5, would give 18,500, 18,200's on, now 500, utter down here, out, I need 18,500, 18,200's on, now 500, utter down here, now 7, now 7, now 700, utter down here, now 18,700, 18,500's on, give 700, utter down here, now 19, would give 19, now 19,200, would give 19,200, 19,200, utter down here, now 19,200, 19,000, utter down here, now 19,200. I got $19,000 an acre Mike's way, I need 19,200, 19,000's on, give 19,200. 19,000's on, give 200, utter down here, now 19,200. 19,000's on, give 19,200. 19,000 here, now 200, utter down here, now 19,200. All right. Who's got it? You got the bid, 19,000. We're going to hold the bid right there. I'm going to step out and make a phone call. Mike, grab that bidder number for me. All right, we're at $19,000 an acre. We do have seller confirmation, so it is an absolute auction at this point in time. If you would like to be the new owner of this farm, all you got to do is be the last one with your hand in the air. I got 19,000. Somebody give 19.2. 19,000's on, give 19.2. I'm bidding at 19,000 here, give 200 order down here, now 19.2, all in, all done, give 19.2, now 5, it'll give 19.5, 19.2's on, now 19.5, it'll give 19.5, I'm at bidding at 19,200, give 19.5, it'll give 500 order down, 19.3, now 4. 4, now 5. It'll give 19.5, now 600 order down here, now 19.6. I'm bidding at 19.6, now 700 order down here, now 800 order down here, now 8. Would give 19.8. Would give 19.8, now 19.9, now 20,000 order down here. I got 19.8. I need 19.9. Give 19.9. 19.8's here, now 900 order down here, now 19.9. Would give 19.9. I got 20. 20,100 here, now 1, would give 1 to 100 order down here, now 20,100 order down here, now 20,100 order down here, now 1, would give 1 to 1, I'm bidding at 20,000 here, I got 20,001, now 2, would give 2, now 2, give 20,000, now 2, now 3, would give 20,300 here, now 20,300, would give 3, now 3, now 300 order down here, now 3, I'm bidding at 20,200 Mike's way, I need 20,003. I got 20,002, give 20,300 here, now able to buy, now 300 order down here, now able to buy, now 20,003, now 4, would give 4, now 4, now 400 order down here, now 5, would give 5, now 5, now 500 order down here, now 5, 20,400 I have, give 20,500, 20,400 here, now 5, would give 5, now 5, now 500 order down here, now able to buy, now 500, 20,400's on, give 20,500. I'm no mistakes here. I'm Mike's way at $20,400 an acre. I need 20,005. All hand, all done. Hammer high, got to fly. Give 20,500 order down here. Now able to buy. Now 20,500. All hand, all done. Hammer high, got to fly. All hand, all done. 20,500. Sold the farm. $20,400 an acre. Bidder number is 305. Thank you guys very much for coming out. Grab something to eat, take it home, go enjoy a little bit of sun after we got soaked the last 4 or 5 days.